32,000 soldiers versus 135,000 enemy troops. You're already outnumbered for 2-1. Then God says, you have too many soldiers. Send most of them home. This is the insane story of how God reduced an army from 32,000 to just 300 men, and then won the battle anyway. Welcome to Do of the Word. Today, we will dissect the Gideon story. Meet Gideon. When we first encounter him, he's not a mighty warrior. He's hiding in a winter press, secretly threshing wheat, terrified the Midianites will find him. For 7 years, the Midianites had terrorized Israel every harvest season. They'd swarm in like locusts with their camels and tents, destroying crops, killing livestock, and leaving Israel starving and desperate. The Bible says they were as thick as locusts, and their camels were without number. Gideon was hiding scared, and convinced God had abandoned Israel. Then an angel appeared with the most ironic greeting ever. The Lord is with you. Mighty warrior, Gideon looked around. Who me? I'm the weakest member of the weakest clan and the weakest tribe. If God is with us, why is all this happening? But God saw something in Gideon that Gideon couldn't see in himself. God said, go in the strength you have and save Israel. Am I not sending you? After some reluctant signs involving fleece and dew, Gideon finally agreed to lead. He sent out a call to arms, and 32,000 men showed up. Not bad, right? Except the Midianite alliance had 135,000 warriors. Still massively outnumbered. But then God dropped the bombshell. God told Gideon, you have too many men. If Israel defeats Midian with this army, they'll boast that their own strength saved them. Tell anyone who's afraid to go home. 22,000 men left immediately. Gideon watched 2/3 of his army walk away. He was now down to 10,000 against 135,000. The odds went from bad to catastrophic. But God wasn't done. There are still too many. Take them down to the water, and I'll test them for you. The test was simple but strange. God told Gideon to watch how the men drank water. Some men knelt down and put their faces in the water to drink. Others cupped water in their hands and lapped it up while staying alert, watching for danger. God said, keep only the 300 men who lap water with their hands. Send everyone else home. Can you imagine Gideon's face? 300 men. Against 135,000. That's 450 enemy soldiers for -1 Israelite warrior. This wasn't a battle plan. This was suicide. But here's what God was teaching. When the odds are impossible, there's no room for human pride. When the army is too small to succeed, everyone will know it was God who won, not human strategy or military might. God deliberately made the situation so impossible that only a miracle could explain the victory. That night, God told Gideon to sneak into the enemy camp. There, Gideon overheard a Midianite soldier telling his friend about a dream. A loaf of barley bread came tumbling into our camp, hit a tent, and flattened it. His friend interpreted it immediately. This is the sword of Gideon. God has given Midian into his hands. Even the enemy knew they were going to lose. Gideon returned to his 300 men with renewed confidence. Now, here's the battle strategy. No swords, no spears, no armor. Instead, God gave them trumpets, clay jars, and torches. Gideon divided the 300 into 3 groups surrounding the camp. At his signal, they all blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, held up their torches, and shouted the sword for the Lord and for Gideon. The Midianites woke up to chaos. Trumpet blasts from every direction, lights everywhere. They thought they were surrounded by a massive army. In the confusion and darkness, they started attacking each other. The Bible says the Lord caused the men throughout the camp to turn on each other with their swords. The entire Midianite army fled in terror. 135,000 warriors defeated by 300 men with nothing but noise, light, and faith. Israel didn't even have to swing a sword. So what does this ancient battle teach you today? First, God often reduces before he increases. He stripped Gideon's army down to nothing so everyone would know God did it. Maybe God is reducing something in your life right now, your resources, your options, your support. Don't panic. He's setting the stage for a miracle only He can perform. Second, God doesn't need your numbers. He needs your obedience. 300 obedient men accomplished what 32,000 couldn't. Stop waiting until you have more money, more connections, more qualifications. God is asking, will you move with what I've given you? Third, your weakness is God's opportunity. Gideon saw himself as weak, insignificant, from a nothing family. God called him a mighty warrior anyway. Stop disqualifying yourself. God specializes in using inadequate people to do impossible things. Finally, the battle belongs to the Lord. Gideon's 300 didn't win through superior strategy or fighting skills. They won because God fought for them. Whatever impossible situation you're facing, stop trying to win it in your own strength. Let God fight your battles. Here's my question: what has God reduced in your life that you're resenting right now? Comment below. God is reducing me for a reason. Declare it. Believe it. Your impossibility is God's opportunity. If this story encouraged you that God can do more with your less, then subscribe to Do of the Word right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we are uncovering Bible stories that prove God still does the impossible. Share this with someone who feels outnumbered, outmatched, and overwhelmed. Remind them, God doesn't need an army. He just needs available warriors. Remember, Gideon started in a winner press and ended with a victory. Your hiding place can become your launching pad. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Now go blow your trumpet and watch God confuse your enemies.